Okay, hello everyone. So today we're going to talk about circle of fifths, how to use it, why it's important, and we're going to try to make it mean something so it's not just arbitrary information floating around in our head. So basically it is a roadmap for key signatures. It teaches us how key signatures work, how they relate to each other, and why sharps and flats keep showing up. So anyways, it always starts on C. It's because C has 0 sharps, 0 flats in the scale. Okay, great. Now we go up a fifth from C, from our home. So the next scale, a fifth higher, is G. Let's write that in. Now, each time we do that, we're adding a sharp. C had 0, G now is going to have 1. The new sharp always shows up a half step below our new tone. Okay? Let's do that again. Start on C, move up a fifth. New sharp is always a half step below our new tone. So in this case, it's F sharp. Another way to look at that is that the new sharp always shows up on the 7th tone in our scale. Here's G major scale. Okay? So that's great. Now, first sharp down here, we write this in F sharp. So every time you see a piece of music with 1 sharp in the key signature, it is always F sharp. Every single time. Okay, moving on. Now we ended on G, we got another fifth. We're on to D. Okay, let's write that in. And the new sharp is going to be just a half step below D. Or another way to think of it, on the 7th tone in D major scale. Now, let's back up. Now that we have multiple sharps, we have to remember each one that was introduced will stay up until this point. So in D major scale, we still have that F sharp that shows up in G. And now we're going to add another one, which is a half step below D, and it's C sharp. Okay, so we start on D, we go through our scale keeping all the old sharps and flats, and then we add that new sharp on the 7th tone. So our D major scale looks like this. Okay, great. Now, what's really cool is that, let's back up. We've got 2 sharps down, C sharp and F sharp. F sharp is the first one. The next sharp is a fifth higher. Okay? It might not seem like much, but circle of fifths is happening everywhere. So we started on F sharp as our first sharp. Now the second sharp is C sharp, and we can see how that's going to continue. Okay, let's get to the next one. C, G, D. Up 1 more fifth, we're on A major. And let's put these in. A major is now going to have 3 sharps. Okay? And there's a lot of ways we can figure this out now. We can play our scale keeping the old sharps and add the new one on tone 7. We can look a half step below A, and we know that. We can also build up from our first sharp and just keep adding up a fifth. Okay? So there's that. Here's A major scale. Okay? And that new sharp is G sharp, of course. Let's get to the next one. From A, another fifth higher is E. E is going to have 4 sharps. Okay, and that new one will be just a half step below. Next, B. Oh, sorry, I skipped that. From E major up another fifth is B. B has 5 sharps. The fingerings change a little. That's covered in another video. Let's get that one. Oh, I missed one. Hang on 1 second. And A sharp. Okay, after B, last one, F sharp. And F sharp has, you guessed it, 6 sharps. Now, the reason we don't keep going on is because it would have 7 sharps, the next one. That's our entire scale is sharp. Doesn't make sense. It's better to think about that in terms of flats. Okay, so a lot of information there. Let's get this last one in. Oh, interesting, on F sharp, the 7th tone is actually E sharp here. So we know this note is usually F, but in this case it's E sharp. Okay? Now. Alright, great. And let's start looking at the other side of the wheel. So this comes from moving downward a fifth. So if we start on C and move down a fifth, we're on F. You can also think of it as moving up a fourth, but it's not called the circle of fourths, it's called the circle of fifths. So that's why that, or where that originally comes from. Now instead of sharps, we have flats. F has 1 flat. the first flat will show up on the fourth tone in the scale, or a perfect fourth above our tonic. Okay, so anyways, there's our F major scale. The fourth tone is B, so now it's B flat, and it's also a perfect fourth above. All right, let's write that in. Oh, and I'm noticing you will usually see people write B sharp here, just in case you were in C sharp major rather than B flat. Get distracted. Now, from F, we move down another fifth, we're on B flat. This is going to have two flats. Okay, so we start on B flat. The new flat is introduced on the fourth tone, which is E. And so forth. Now we're on B flat, we go down another fifth, we're on E flat. E flat is going to have three flats, you got it from this point. We keep the two flats we've seen, and we add one on the fourth tone. Okay, and that gives us A flat. Now, if you're really observant, you'll see that we're spelling the order of sharps backwards. So the order of flats is exactly the same as the order of sharps, just flipped around. Okay, so let's get the rest of these filled in. From E flat down a fifth is A flat. A flat down a fifth is D flat. And that does it. And this is 4 flats, 5 flats. This is bead. Now, the way to remember all this, other than just walking through your fifths and figuring out that remembering where the sharps and flats show up, you can remember bead gussif. It doesn't mean anything, it's just the English word bead and then gussif. And that's honestly how I have remembered this as well. So if you know that there's 5 flats in the key signature, bead, so you count up the first 5. You got B, E, A, D, and G. Those are your 5 flats. Say there's only 1 flat, you know it's B. Say there's 4 sharps, you know it's these. But the sharps are just backwards.